Hello and welcome to Township Talk. I'm Brady, McHale. The Public Information Office provides a communication link between the township government and its citizens through publication, news releases, oral and written presentations, as well as the cable television channel, which you're watching right now. But there's a lot more that you might not know about. And here to talk to me all about it is the woman who oversees it. It's Lori Jennings, the Township Public Information Officer. Hello, Lori. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me here today, Brady.
Absolutely. So I just gave a little bit of, what your day-to-day operation might be, but if you want to dive into what it is to be the Public Information Officer here in Lower Merion Township.
Absolutely, sure. The Public Information Office is the link between the township and our residents. And we love that our residents are so engaged in what goes on here at the township. And we want to really try to keep the communication flowing between us and them so that they can stay involved and informed.
And you do that through many different vehicles. You have an online presence, a social media presence, obviously us sitting here today. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the different options that residents might have to get their information?
Sure. We've had many different options over the years. We've had print publications, online publications. We're really trying to go in the direction of having most things to be online. So our website is chock full of information that any resident could want. We put out all of the things that we're doing in the township, and everything that a resident might need to know is on our website. We also use our social media presence through Facebook, Twitter, even Instagram, to get information out that the residents would like to see, and of course LMTV. Any resident that has cable television can watch it through their cable provider, and if you don't have cable, you can go onto our Vibit website and watch all of our programming there, even watch LMTV live on there.
So there's also a section of news releases and information that you put out on the website. What's the difference between the news releases and the newsletter?
Sure. And there's even something called a press release.
Right.
So their press releases go out to the press when there's something, if there's been an arrest or something big has happened that has involved the police department or the fire department. A lot of times there'll be a press release that goes out, and that gets emailed out to our press. But it also gets put out to the residents so that they know what's going on. And a news release could be something like, we have a new sustainability plan and we really want you to know about it, and here are the upcoming meetings where you can participate and know about it. And then the newsletter is something that comes out monthly, and the newsletter will give all kinds of information, events that are happening, something about the comp plan, the upcoming meetings of the Board of Commissioners and committee meetings, and just, it's a mix of township serious business and then also some fun things that residents may want to participate in.
Do you have to sign up for the newsletter, or is this something that goes out to everyone who has a Lower Merion address?
The newsletter gets sent out through email right now.
Okay.
So it's an e-newsletter that comes out monthly, and you sign up on the township website. And when you first go onto the township website, there's a box that pops up. And if you click into that, you'll be able to sign up for our newsletters. And you can also sign up through that for all the different committee meetings that we have, building and planning, finance, whatever you have interest in.
The exciting stuff.
Yeah, all the exciting stuff. You can get all or one. It just depends on what you might like to have.
So this next question is a little silly because obviously we're sitting in the LMTV studios, but as a part of your job, you do oversee the great work that goes on behind the scenes with the staff here. Let's tell the viewers at home who may not know all the work that goes on right here at the LMTV studios and the programs that are put out, not just this shows, but all the different shows that go on. What exactly does LMTV do? If you could just tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I think one of the most important things that we do is broadcasting our committee meetings and our Board of Commissioner meetings, so that
I take no offense to that at all. I thought it was Township Talk, but I take no offense.
That's also very important.
I think we're second in ratings to the Board of Commissioners meeting.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I think the Public Works Pipeline might have you beat.
That's true. That's true.
That is a very popular show. But our Board of Commissioner meetings and our committee meetings really let the residents know what's happening, what the township is approving, what the taxes are being spent on, what the departments are actually doing for the residents with their tax dollars. And that's a really important thing that we are able to get out there. So people can watch it on their cable TV. They can watch it on Vibit. They can watch it on YouTube. We stream live on Facebook. You can get it any kind of way that works for you, which I'm really proud of. We have a lot of ways for people to view what's happening and also to be involved. And then, of course, there's a lot of original programming like Township Talk and the Library Show and the Public Works Pipeline. And there's history shows, which I really love. And there's so many things for different people that you can really, it's not your average government TV station. We have a lot of things that I think people would find really interesting if they watched.
I could not agree more, absolutely. And if someone had an idea for a television show, or let's say the Boy Scouts had a project that they're working on, do you encourage citizens to reach out, or any residents who perhaps want to get a program going?
Sure. The program would have to be about township business, township government, things like that. So if the Boy Scouts were doing a project where they were putting new benches in a public park that the township owns, or something at the libraries, we would be very interested in hearing about that. And we really love to get our citizens involved in the things that we do here at the township. We want them to know that this is their township, and we want them to be a part of it.
And going off of that a little bit, so if a resident is interested in, let's say they're interested in photography or graphic arts, can they reach out to your office to perhaps volunteer? Do you take volunteers or interns here at LMTV?
We love having interns, and they're learning from us, but we also learn from them. A lot of times they're younger folks who bring a whole new set of skills that they're learning, and most of them are in high school or college that are taking communications classes and learning all about this. So it's a great opportunity for them and for us.
And what about with the advent of social media? There's TikTok and some reels on Instagram. What if I created a TikTok channel for Lower Merion Township, or even an Instagram reel? Is that something that you would be interested in for like the younger generation to get involved here at LMTV?
Actually, we are very interested in that and interested in learning how to do more of that. So if there's a resident out there who would like to come in to show us a little bit of the ropes, we would be so happy to have them come in and give us old folks a little bit of a schooling on how to get involved in TikTok, because I think that's something that we really are interested in reaching the next generation.
Obviously, social media is kind of where everyone's getting their information nowadays. Do you feel that that's more popular than the website? What is the driving force? Do you put more on social media than you do on the website? Where's the focus kind of at?
We try to put everything we put on the website on social media and vice versa. So there are different generations that are going to be reached a different way, right? So our e-newsletter right now only comes out by email, but we're actually in the middle of putting together so that we can text our e-newsletter out also.
Oh, great.
Because the next generation is not using email the way that we are. And so we feel like we don't want to just forget that new generation exists, and they are reached differently. The older generation reach things in print. The middle generation, they're by email and websites and some social media, and the younger generation is texting and social media. And so we have to constantly adjust to reach all of our residents.
It's great, and I'll tell you what, we've touched on a lot so far, but believe it or not, there's a lot more to get to. So we'll be right back with Lori Jennings, and we'll find out a little bit more about the Public Information Office. Welcome back to Township Talk. I'm Brady McHale, and I'm here with Lower Merion Township's Public Information Officer, Lori Jennings. Before we jump back into things, I want to learn a little bit more about you and how you got started here at the Township. I know you've been here for quite some time.
I started with the Township in 2005, and I came here not really knowing much about Township government, but I really have jumped in and loved working for Lower Merion Township. Before I came to work for Lower Merion, I worked for the Department of Justice at the U.S. Trustee's office. And before that, I worked for the District Attorney's office in Virginia.
Are you originally from the Lower Merion area?
I grew up in Philadelphia, so I've been from this area my whole life. I had about 7 or 8 years in Virginia when I moved down there for my husband's work, but I came back to where I belong.
That's great, and certainly we're happy to have you here in Lower Merion. What's a typical day look like in the PIO office, the Public Information Office?
A lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, people and our staff calling me to get information on where to find out things. So I get a lot of emails. If you email to the staff at Lower Merion email box, I get those emails and I respond to them. So they could be anything from wanting to know, do I need a permit to put up this fence, to I'm having a problem with my neighbor's bushes growing over into my backyard, or I'm having difficulty with water draining off of different properties and causing a problem on mine. So it could be anything.
So you're shifting all the gears and making sure that everyone gets to where they need to be. So there's a lot more than just what meets the eye when it comes to public information. And during the break, we talked a little bit about some crisis communication. Obviously, you are the voice for Lower Merion amongst your staff. You're on call essentially 24/7.
Yes.
Things that can happen at any time, emergencies that occur, tragedies, road closures. So I assume you work with all the department heads, the fire chief, police chief, right?
Very closely. They contact me as soon as something is going on, whether it's police or fire related. If a significant incident is going on, they contact me right away to let me know it's happening. And we keep all the communication lines open. That way we have a central person who's putting together press releases and getting them out to the press and the public, which is really important to have consistency.
And so in addition to that role, there's also the opportunity as the right to know requests, perhaps not your favorite part of the job. If someone has a right to know, they want to file for information or perhaps a report that they needed or something that has occurred on their property or an accident. It's my understanding that you're the go-to person for that as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I sure am. The township has taken a position of transparency and building trust in local government. That's really what we believe in. And 99.9% of what people ask for is absolutely public information. They don't even need to fill out a right to know request to get the information, but they do, they don't realize it. And so I process those. And so almost everything that folks ask for, they are able to get a copy of. So a right to know request is asking for a document that the township may have. It's not asking a question like how many roads in the township have stop signs. That's not a right to know request. A right to know request would be how many private roads do we have in the township, because we have a document that lists those, that kind of thing. But we really try to be as transparent as we possibly can. And most of the things that can't be released are criminal and non-criminal investigative reports. That's really the thing that gets denied most of the time. Everything else gets approved. And if you have something that you would like to see that any of the residents do, call my office or email me. It's very likely that we don't have to make you jump through bureaucratic steps and fill out forms. You can probably just have the document you're looking for.
And speaking of documents and filing for permits, let's talk a little bit about permits. So here in Lower Merion, if you're filming a movie, you need a television, a TV permit, or a movie permit, I think?
Yeah,
what
film
exactly?
and video permit.
And that also comes through your office?
That also comes through my office and through me. So you could be a major Paramount Movies
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, because he's from this area. He's filmed several movies here. his film folks, they come through my office to get a permit to do that on township streets. If you're having something filmed in your private residence, you don't need a permit for that because that's your own private property. But if there's something that's going to involve our township staff, our police, our fire, public works, even to do things to the roads, or it's going to be in the public space, you definitely need a permit. We even have the PA lottery folks. Gus sometimes comes to Lower Merion, and they use a lot of our parks to do their videos for the PA lottery commercials.
That's pretty cool, and I actually didn't know that. That's really cool to hear. So let's shift gears a little bit. The township is very involved in public safety. I think you mentioned earlier about community engagement and an informed community. There's a lot of trainings that go on, and I was looking through the website and I saw that there's an upcoming Narcan training through Narberth Ambulance. What is that, and how would someone find out more if there's something that the township is offering?
Sure. This past late winter and spring, we had 3 Narcan trainings, and those were sponsored by our Health Advisory Council. So I'm also the staff liaison to the Health Advisory Council, so I help them. And they had really been focusing on the fentanyl and opioid abuse that's going on. They did a PSA, which was played here on LMTV and still is. And they really wanted to get public awareness out there about the risks of opioids. And so we did an Narcan training, and we took 25 people at each of those trainings, and we had a wait list for every single one of them. And we're considering doing some more of those upcoming because they were very well attended. The county provided us Narcan to give out to each of the attendees. They learned how to use it. And you assume that a lot of the folks that attended that probably have loved ones, that there's a reason why they came to that training, and we were so grateful to be able to provide that. And Narberth Ambulance was a big part of that. They helped and provided that training for free for our residents.
It's kind of like a harsh reality. It's as sad as it is, there's also that rewarding benefit. Hopefully these individuals never have to use it, but I think you're absolutely right, is they're probably, it's a shame with the substance abuse. So there's a lot more in the public information office that goes on. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you want to touch on, or?
I would say that the best way to get communication from the township is to sign up for our e-subscriptions. So that's the overlay that comes up on the website that you can sign up for all the things that come through e-subscription. You have the option to add in your cell phone number to get text alerts now, which is going to start happening. If for some reason it's not on the page when you open it up because you've opened it up and clicked that off and said you don't want to get that pop up, you can go to the bottom of the original web page and it will tell you, show you a place down there where you can go and sign up for e-subscriptions. And it's really an important thing. We also do have something called Blackboard Connect, which we send out emergency messages on. And we did that a lot in the beginning of the COVID pandemic. And that is also at the bottom of the main page of the website if you would like to sign up for Blackboard Connect. And Blackboard is more of an emergency or really important messages that we want to get out.
Is it similar to the LM Report It app?
LM Report It is where you would report if there's a pothole or if there was a storm sewer cover that was off and you wanted the township to come and take care of it and fix it. Where Blackboard would sometimes, if they're serving a warrant in the township, we would send to that small perimeter of area to let the residents know you may hear banging on the door. Or it could be, we had one time where some straight line winds came through the township and we had 60 trees down. And we sent out a Blackboard voice message that said, please stay home. We have 60 roads blocked in the township. It would be better if you stayed home. Right. That kind of thing. So we use Blackboard for those kinds of items.
Well, those are all important things, and an engaged and informed community makes it better for everyone. So before we wrap up, we have a few minutes left. I have a question that I ask all the department heads when they come and sit down here at Township Talk, and that is your favorite part of Lower Merion Township. It could be a tangible location, it could be a street, a park, your favorite Lower Merion Township location.
I love coming down Montgomery Avenue after a very light snow. because that's the route that I drive to work from the west side of the township. And when you're coming down, the trees and all of the snow and sometimes a little bit of ice coming off of it, it is just like a picture that you see in a painting. And I just think that it's so beautiful to come down. And a lot of times there's not a lot of traffic when there's bad weather.
Right.
But we're all
you have
still
to come
coming
to
to
work.
work.
Right.
And I love, taking my time, but coming down that road, and it's just so beautiful to watch.
Well, lucky to work here. You're even luckier if you get to live here.
Absolutely.
Lori, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great to learn more about the functions of the Public Information Office and all the work that goes on behind the scenes. And certainly the work, I do not want it to go unnoticed, that's done here by Mark and his team at LMTV. We're certainly lucky. And if you want to know more information about the Information Office or anything that we spoke about on today's Township Talk, you can head to the Township's website at lowermerion.org and look for Lower Merion Township on social media as well. Thank you for watching. I'm Brady McHale. Have a great day.